Hello, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Cast Revive, your weekly Top 5 VGM podcast. I am your host, Matt Heimerl, and here with the man who now has the golden voice, Steve Moncelsi.
Hello, everyone.
I hope everybody's having a fantastic evening, and I'm going to have a fantastic evening because this week we're talking about Mario Kart.
Mario Kart.
And that was the intro theme to Mario Kart Double Dash. Actually, a Mario Kart that I've never played.
It's a really good game. I loved Double Dash. The fact that you could have like two different players play at the same time on the same kart was fantastic.
Yeah, I read that you could do that. Each kart was unique to each character that you picked, and they had special moves that they could do. I thought that's a really cool concept. This was for GameCube?
Yes, it was.
Was for GameCube? That explains why I never played it, because I never had a GameCube.
Tisk.
I went right to PlayStation.
I can't say that I blame you, but there were a lot of good games for the GameCube.
Animal Crossing, right? Right? Animal Crossing, everybody?
Oh, please. No, not Animal Crossing.
We just alienated like 95%
like
of our
5
listeners.
people. Sorry, 5 people.
And that's 100% of our listeners. So this week, as we said, is Mario Kart. So we're going to go through, share some memories of our favorite tracks from our favorite Mario Kart titles. And hopefully you guys will join us in the comments and share some of your favorites. Because there's definitely, this is a game that ruined friendships. I mean, easily ruined friendships.
That is true. And, you know, the wonderful thing, though, about Mario Kart was it was the original kart racing game. There have been so many more that have come along since then. And it's pretty much, this was the father of the genre, was Mario Kart for the Super NES.
It was a great game. And I love the fact that besides just racing, you had that battle arena mode.
Right.
They had the balloons around you had to pop. Oh, my God, it was so much fun.
And it's funny, I was just, because I knew this was coming up, and I was watching some old videos, because I actually do not own the original Mario Kart. So I was watching some videos, but I remember playing it, because I used to play it all the time.
Right.
But, you know, looking at the kart games we have now, I was looking at the original Mario Kart, and I'm like, wow, how the hell did we ever play this?
Yeah.
With the split screen, with the map is the whole bottom section, you're like, you can't even see where you're going. How did we do this?
It was rough. I mean, you look back and see of the things that we had to put up with growing up just to enjoy video games. You know,
batteries? What?
Batteries? What's that? But nowadays, I mean, you got 80-inch flat screens, 4-way. It's just, you know, it's just like...
I'm tethered to the machine with this controller, so no wonder I'm blind because I have to sit 3 feet away from this. Yeah.
It's good times. Good times. If you had to... What is your favorite, if you had to say it, of all the Mario Karts? If you had to pick one.
Honestly, Mario Kart 64.
Interesting.
Yeah, I played that until the wee hours of the morning. Like, me and my buddies would sit around, start playing that. Next thing I was like, oh, it's 6 o'clock at night. Cool, keep playing. Oh, hey, it's midnight. We should probably look at going home. Hey, it's 10 o'clock in the morning.
Sweet.
Oh, well.
Let's go get some eggs and pizza.
And come back, meet back here, break.
I like it.
Yeah.
Super. The original will always be my favorite. It's usually the first game in a series is always the one that always holds me in. But the new ones are very close because they are fantastic. Never played Mario Kart 64 because I am not a Nintendo 64 fan. I think the controller blows chunks, and I think that's really it. I mean,
well, Matt, we all know you've never been one for thinking.
That's true. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. But you know, the one thing that I'm impressed with Mario Kart is you have a concept. It's a racing game.
Yep.
At its core. But the fact that there's so many of them and none of them are alike, though.
That's right.
Sure, you have kart. It's racing. But, you know, you have like Double Dash. You have 2 people playing on the same kart at the same time. Then they started introducing, like, you could turn into a hang glider or a boat or something, you know, and it keeps it all fresh without having to really change what it is.
Exactly. I mean, every game they added more characters, more stages, new ways to kind of refresh the series. Because you think it is a racing game. What else can they possibly do? But they've done some just remarkable things with this game. And we talk about our selections. We'll try to go into more detail without bursting into tears. But one thing I wanted to go over, that I don't have a track from any of these, and I found this interesting. I saw this a while ago, but never really looked into it. But there are Mario Kart arcade games.
Yeah, Mario Kart GP.
Yeah, and I thought that was really interesting. And they even there was one that came out 3 years ago. I mean, it's relatively new. I mean, when you think of like Okay, arcade games. Like I think
Right.
of like back then, but it's like it was Mario Kart Arcade GP DX. That was released.
see, I've never heard of that.
By Namco Bandai, and it came out in 2013 here in North America. So they had new playable characters: Bowser Jr., Rosalina, Metal Mario, and Don Chan. Miss Pac-Man, Blinky, and Mama. Name I can't even pronounce. Do not return. MAMETH or TCHI. Mamichi? Mamichi? I'm not even going to.
We'll go with that.
But I thought that was really cool.
Well, do you remember when in our episode that I talked about with the pod racer in the arcade, how you sat like in a pod racer?
Yeah.
At Mario Kart, the same way. You sat like in a little cart and you drove. So it was like you're actually in Mario Kart. And by the way, I do want to go ahead and drop this knowledge. Remember last week we talked about in our sports games, the makers of Super Spike Volleyball and Super Dodgeball. It was actually Taito.
Oh.
Taito. Or Techno. I'm sorry, Techno.
Techno?
Yes. I don't know why I was thinking Taito, but yeah, it's Techno that actually came up with that game.
Very cool. Very cool.
I told our listeners last week I'd get back with the right answer, and there it is.
And everybody's going to flood the page with thank yous for Steve. They better, because this man put a lot of work into looking that
I'm
up.
already looking at the page right now.
Did you know there was also a canceled Mario Kart game that was rumored to be for the Virtual Boy?
Oh, thank God it's
VB
gone.
Mario Kart.
Thank God.
That would have been awesome. I like the Virtual Boy.
Waterworld,
man. Waterworld.
I don't know if I'd go with awesome, but sure, we'll go.
It's a game. Even now, I would have liked to have tried out. I think that would be pretty cool.
Wario Land was the best game for the Virtual Boy. And forgive me, listeners, my voice is quickly going away, so I am struggling through this podcast. But
so we'll speed it up.
If my voice peaks, it's not the puberty thing that happened like 30-something years ago, but I am losing my voice. So
my name's
I am here going strong.
I like video games. My name's Steve. So I guess on that note, we'll go ahead and jump into our top fives, and you're going first this week.
Oh, yay!
Since I went first last week, so here we go.
Oh my God, Matt, just listening to this song, the anxiety of trying to make the train tracks before that train came around the corner is enough to like make me cry.
Having never played this game, just the music, I can visualize what kind of stage it is.
Oh, this stage was amazing. It was out in the desert, and what made it unique, excuse me, was that as you're racing, it's your normal, you don't want to get off the road, so you're in sand, it slows you down like grass does, but there's so if your track is kind of going like in a weird pattern, right in the middle of it is a perfect oval that a train runs on.
Nice.
And your track passes over it like 2 or 3 times, and that train could be coming, and you could get hit by it, or you have to stop because the train's in the way. There's no way to go around it.
Right.
And so when you're racing and you're cruising and you see this guy's next to you and you see that train coming, and you're like, oh my God, I could beat him. I could beat it to the line. And you beat him, and you hear the other guy get hit. It's a joyous occasion. Yes,
that's awesome. Is there anything other crazy things like on that board? Like, was the train like the big obstacle that could make or break? Like,
absolutely. Because it wasn't like I know if I'm racing this fast, the train will never be here. No, it always shows up.
Always shows up.
Was
there a bullet? Could you become a Bullet Bill in that game?
No.
Okay, I was gonna say. I wonder what happened if it kind of counted. If Bullet Bill actually blew the train up, that'd be awesome.
That would be awesome. But no. Man, the anxiety from seeing that. We'll watch a video of it later.
4-player Mario Kart 64, I imagine, is pretty intense.
Yes, it is.
I imagine it's pretty
They also use that the balloon system.
Oh, they do?
Yeah.
Nice.
Points.
That's cool. During the actual racing, or is there a separate battle mode?
It's a battle mode.
Okay.
It is a battle arena.
That's cool. Very nice.
Yeah, thank you.
A good way to start it off.
Well, I told you Mario Kart 64 was my favorite. By the way, that was Calamari Desert.
And by the way, all of Steve's top 5s do take place in Mario Kart 64.
That is not true. Only 2 of them.
Well, let's move on to mine, number 5.
What do we got, man?
One of the coolest stages, I think, ever in the Mario Kart universe.
Agreed.
This is the Airship Fortress from Mario Kart DS. And this was so cool because you had the bullet bills coming at you. You had the wrenchy squirrel thingies popping up.
Rocky Wrench.
Rocky Wrench. There we go. Thank you for giving me the part of the proper
You're
name.
welcome.
And they're throwing the things. So like you're visualized like when you're going through it, you have this image in your head of like Mario 3 of like of what's going on, and then now you're actually driving through this ship, and you're just like, whoa, this is what it looks like from this angle. It was so cool having that feeling going through it, and it's just a phenomenal track.
To me, for this, in my opinion, this stage of all the Mario games I've seen best represents a true actual Mario flavor.
Yeah, I agree.
Like you were saying, you board the airship, and right away you see the bullet bills, you see the rocky wrenches, you go down underground, you see the flames come through, then you get shot out of the big cannon that was always in the front of the airship.
It surprises me that they never remade this board.
Actually, yeah, that's true.
I mean, how awesome that this was. It's.
I mean, not to take anything away from Rainbow Road, but they've done that a few times.
Yeah,
and I think this one definitely deserves.
And Rainbow Road will never die. It is. No. It will always be the most annoying, hard, crazy stage ever.
Unless you know where to fall off of it.
Yes.
And land on the track below and keep going. But yeah. But this is about Airship Fortress. And I think, like I said, this is the greatest homage to reward Mario players. Like, wow, that's cool. Like, just like you said, it was cool to visualize it and then be able to see it from that perspective.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. And DS was the 5th installment in the series and the second to be released on a handheld system. So it's pretty cool because it had you could do the Wi-Fi connection and be able to play against other people and not just against the AI. So I thought that was a really interesting thing to incorporate into the series, because when you think of a handheld, typically what we're used to is you have you're playing by yourself, but now it's like, hey, I can play with somebody sitting next to me now. This is awesome.
Right.
And in a Mario Kart game, that's really what you want. I mean, you love playing against the computer, but you really want to play against your friends.
Sure, of course.
You want to be like me.
There's nothing that is not more beautiful than hanging with a blue shell.
It's true.
And
no, it really is. I mean, and for myself, being the king Mario Kart racer of all time.
Wow.
Dude, people have come from around the world to challenge me, and I have not lost.
Man,
ever.
You're going to have to adjust the size of that headset soon.
I love Mario Kart.
Well,
man.
let me ask you this: if you love Mario Kart so much, you have to have a favorite character to play as. Do you have a favorite character you always go to?
Yes, but
why?
The problem is that they're split between 2 games because Dry Bones was my favorite, but he hasn't been incorporated into the newer ones. And in the newer one, Mario Kart 8, I play as Lemmy, and it's just awesome. Like, and for no real reason other than I like the smaller. I feel like either it has an effect on the vehicle or not.
Well, it absolutely does. I mean, there is an actual science that when they made the kart games, you have your heavier characters like Donkey Kong and Bowser that they are faster. Mm-hmm. But because they're just so heavy, they're faster. But they can't turn for crap. They can't corner. But then you have like your like Dry Bones, your Koopas, your Toad. Those characters don't go as fast, but they can corner. Yeah, like on a dime.
They can drift really well.
And then you have your middle road. No pun intended. But you have your middle road characters like Mario, Luigi, and Princess, and all them that are just kind of good at both.
Yeah.
But you can see some people just absolutely wipe the floor with Donkey Kong, and you're like, wow, how did you do that? Plus, they could throw their weight around, so if they hit your cart, you get sent.
And that's the advantage on sideless boards like the Ghost. Ghost on Mario Kart, Rainbow Road, places that don't have sides. That's the advantage of those having those heavier characters. So
that's cool though that you have the quick characters.
Yeah, I just for some reason I always went for the quicker characters. I just I don't know. The bigger ones are always just they feel like I'm moving so much slower, and I like to be
right.
Plus, I can see a little more. They don't take up as much of the screen, so I'm like in and out, just being,
I always chose Mario just because he was a nice.
Because you're boring.
Oh, whatever. No, it's just that he was a nice, average.
Well, yeah, I mean he's
player,
a jack of all trades.
Especially, I don't play the games to become a perfectionist at them as far as skill wise. So I usually play Mario and go through the game a couple times.
Right.
To start really learning the tracks. And then I'll experiment with other players to see, oh, wow, this guy does a lot better on this stage.
Right.
I'd rather play Bowser on the ice stages because he doesn't slide nearly as bad. And so you can take those corners.
Right.
Great if I can't drift. I don't want to. I'm sliding on ice. So it all depends.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I always tend to pick the character, regardless of what the board is. I feel comfortable with this character, and regardless of what the terrain is on the board, whether it be ice, sand, or bags of wings being tossed into a fryer, I always go with the smaller baby.
All right, my number 4. It's about wings, man. Make me hungry.
Yeah. Talking about anxiety.
Well, this is Bowser's Castle from the original Mario Kart.
Yes.
And, let me ask you this, Matt. Do you know where this music is actually from?
On that... Oh, you mean like where did they pull it from?
Yeah. Hold on, I'm queuing up the Jeopardy music right now. Where is that soundboard?
I'm trying to... I can't think of...
Time's up.
You're gonna pick from like an obsolete game that no one's heard.
No. This is the boss fight music for Bowser from Mario 3.
Oh, really?
Yes, it is.
All right.
So there you go, and it's also Bowser's Castle.
No, it's not. This is Peach's Castle. Thank you.
Again.
0 for 2.
But so this is actually the stage I was looking at when I was playing Mario Kart, and I was just like, wow. With all the fire pits and stuff like that, it's like, how the hell did we ever drive through this thing?
Yeah.
They had some cool features into it that kind of remained for the other Mario Karts as far as Bowser's concerned, like the thwomps that come down on the track and just fire everywhere, lava pools that you could just fall into. But yeah, I mean, and rightfully so, they're usually the final tracks,
right?
Because it is Bowser's domain.
Yeah.
So. But yeah, it was always a lot of fun. I mean,
this
was my favorite music, but my favorite Bowser level was from Mario 64 because you're driving through the castle, and it's again, it's just so fun to see. Wow, what it would be like if I was Mario in that situation, kind of thing. It's like this is what Bowser's Castle looks like.
Absolutely,
very cool.
Absolutely, and I love how they've re-envisioned every Bowser level for each game, and they've gotten more and more badass.
Yes.
And it's gotten harder and harder, and the Bowser's Castle in the latest one is so insane that they're just like with the track is actually waving when the big boulders are coming at you. It is.
I've never seen it.
Oh, you got to check it out. It'll blow your mind.
See, I like that. I like that they can do different twists on things like that without completely overhauling the game.
Right. Absolutely.
And then charge another $60 for it.
Hey, it's Mario Kart. You know you're getting a quality product.
That is true.
If they were to release a Mario Kart every year, I would buy it.
All right.
That is one game that I wouldn't mind buying every single year because I know
there hasn't been There hasn't been a bad one. I told you my voice. I don't want to hear it. There has not been a bad one.
No, there really hasn't. There really hasn't. Well, since Steve is looks like his voice is dwindling quickly, we'll go ahead and scoot on to my number 4. DK Jungle, baby. Mario Kart 7. You always tell a Donkey Kong Country stage.
Yeah, absolutely. It sounds like time was running out on that, too. It's
Yeah.
like, it's so quick-paced.
It's awesome. Mario Kart 7 came out for the 3DS, and it was a great game. It was an absolutely great game. I mean, you're going to hear that for every single one. But the cool thing about this game, it introduced a community mode for online play where people could race using different sets of rules and stuff like that. So it really allowed you to play in a much larger audience away from like an actual console.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, it was super awesome, and it actually had ghost data to where it would save your previously best lap, and you could race against your ghost to try to get like a better time on the track when you're trying to like improve and stuff like that.
Wow.
So you could see, okay, he took that outer ring. I'm gonna try inside, so you can see, so you're not just making the same mistakes all the time. So it was a pretty cool feature. Pretty cool.
That is cool. Now, if I remember correctly, this had like plants you could jump down onto, right? And they would spring you along, and then it was like based in Donkey Kong Country.
Yeah.
The stage.
Yeah, and the cool thing about the Donkey Kong stages as well is they had these cannons you could go in that would launch you up like the mountain, like to get up to higher places.
Oh, wow.
And then they incorporate the glide effect into it, and it was just visually, I love the Donkey Kong stages because there's so many vibrant colors and stuff like that. You feel like you're actually in a Donkey Kong game, and not all the boards I feel really capsule like different levels in Mario, but Donkey Kong I feel always hits the point on every stage when they bring that in. That's really what I love about it, especially for a handheld. I mean, the stage looked so awesome,
right?
You know, and the 3DS, it has great. I mean, it had great graphics, but I mean, you know, you're comparing it to other games. You know, handhelds are always down a little bit in terms of graphic quality, but the game just visually was amazing.
You know, the best and worst part of the Donkey Kong stages was that there were so many blind corners because of all the foliage that they added into the game. Mm-hmm. So you never knew what was really coming up. You know, thank God the stages don't change. Like, you know, like in a Hydro Thunder or stuff like that.
Yeah.
You just feel like, oh my God, where are we going next? You know, it was actually a cool story, though. You mentioned like racing against ghost racers, and it made me think of this. And I get a little sentimental, though, when I tell this story, because it's actually pretty cool. This kid, he used to play like Gran Turismo and stuff like that, kind of racing games, and he put his system away as he went to college, so forth, so on. Well, during that time, his father had died, and the kid found his old system and hooked it back up and was playing through, and he raced against one of the ghost cards, and his ghost car was his dad's best time.
Wow.
And so after all the years, he was still playing with his dad.
That's so cool.
You know? And so, like, even though he could beat him on a regular basis, he always would stop and let the other car win, because once you beat him, he would lose that.
Yeah.
So he would just stop and let the car come up, and so he would always be able to play with his dad.
That's so cool. That's a really good story.
Thank you.
You've touched on the softer side of Cash Revive. We're not just these hardened, you know, thugs that, you know, just beat people with good looks and knowledge. We touch on for Valentine's Day, you know,
the heartstrings.
We wanted to sweeten it up a little bit, and that was a very nice story.
Yeah, and it's actually a true story too. It was not made up. It was
I hope
cool.
not. I would be very upset if you're like, psych, that was a fake story.
No, I would not do that. All right. So,
number 3.
My number 3. All right, I'm going to try to do this without my voice going out, but yeah, come on down to Moo Moo Farms.
Yes, nailed it.
Yes.
Moo Moo Farm, huh?
Moo Moo Farm.
Mario Kart 64, another one.
Yes, this is my other Mario Kart 64. This was the first stage in the game that really kind of introduced obstacles. You know, you had the Monty Moles that would pop up as you're racing, and you don't know where they're going to pop up at, and because they would just cruise along the ground with some pop pop.
Would they if they landed in front of you? Would they get caught on your cart? Do you have to?
No, if you hit them, you stopped. You came to a dead stop.
Oh, okay. Because I remember on the original Mario Kart, and they going on, you had to tap the left and right triggers to shake the mole off of you. They slowed your car down. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, this just brings you. This isn't funny.
Yes, it is.
It just brings you to a dead stop.
Yeah.
But it was still considered a basic track. I think it was only like the second track you could do. Mm-hmm. But it was actually a lot of fun. It was a quick track, and it not only did it introduce obstacles, but it also introduced good use of shortcuts by knowing where to cut across grass and things like that. So,
nice, very cool, very cool.
This is also one that's made it into several of the Mario Kart games. The Moo Moo Farms. That's all I have to say about that.
Could you hit cows in this one? Like, were there cows you could actually hit and knock?
No,
knock
not in the Mario 64.
Oh, gotcha. I don't think Mario 64 is dropping the ball all over the place, huh?
It was the first. Well, it's actually the second Mario Kart game. So they had lots of
They
had
I'm hating
six
on
more
it.
games to improve on.
I'm hating on it for no reason other than the fact that I just did not like the N64 controller. But I'm sure Mario Kart 64 was.
Well, the controller actually played well into Mario Kart because of the way that it was. That with that analog stick, it made it really nice to drift around corners and stuff.
Speaking of drifting, you need your drifting skills to be on point for my number 3.
What is it? It sounds.
I could let this track go. I love the music in this track. This is Rainbow Road from the Wii version of Mario Kart. This track, not just musically, but visually was awesome because you could drive through these giant gold rings that would like teleport you like up to like the next section, and it just. Rainbow Road is known for just being notoriously hard, just a devious stage. But this, I feel, just kicked it up like a whole nother level with its difficulty. And if you didn't know, really, especially if I'm talking about like on the hardest CC, not on like beginner, but on hard. If you didn't know proper drifting and know the layout really well, there was literally no chance in you coming in first.
Well, I've never played Rainbow Road on the Wii version. I do have the Wii version. I'm actually playing through it right now. I haven't gotten as far as to unlock that yet, but I will let you know what I think.
Yes.
But I do agree. Rainbow Roads I've raced before in the past have notoriously sucked.
Yes, and it only gets worse.
In a great way, though.
Yes. Oh no, it's a great way to end out a series. Like the final race on Rainbow Road, you don't want to end it on Moo Moo Farms. You're just like, okay, I need like a.
I want to end it on Moo Moo Farms.
Well, yeah, but I mean, unless there's like a steak dinner waiting for you at the very end of it, like yeah. But
the steak size is depending on how many cows you hit on the way in.
Because the thing about Rainbow Road is like it's. If you were in like third or fourth place, like in the overall standings, you had a very good chance because like there are so many ways to mess up or screw somebody up. Getting Blinky the ink blot on that stage is an absolute nightmare. An absolute nightmare. Not being able to see where you're going that fast on the highest difficulty, it makes you want to scream.
Now, do they have shortcuts on that stage?
Yes. I've never mastered a Rainbow Road shortcut. Like I don't have the patience. The only shortcuts I've mastered were on the original version, and those were on the ghost stages.
Gotcha.
And you can get the feather and jump over like corners and stuff like that. But other than that,
yeah, there was on Rainbow Road for the N64, there was a spot in the stage pretty close to the start line that if you jumped off and turned, you would actually land on the road below you, which is actually more than halfway through the course.
Right.
So they can just start going, and that nobody could ever catch you.
Yeah.
It was great.
That was awesome. Yeah, if you can master that and land properly, you're just like, yeah, well, nobody's gonna catch up unless somebody can chase after you with a red shell and hit you up. You're like, oh
right.
man, no.
Which AI never does.
Yeah, no. So Rainbow Road, Mario Kart Wii, number 3. I think we should move on to our number 2s because these are getting awesome. Like I'm getting really I really don't even want I don't want to talk. I just want to play and then just keep going through.
I also don't want to talk, so I'm right there with you. Let's do it.
All right, Steve's number 2.
Sounds like an old time vaudeville show.
Does. What do we got here?
This is the Coconut Mall from Mario Kart Wii.
2 Wii in a row. Wii!
This stage I actually played through because it is only the second stage you come across.
The Coconut Mall is awesome.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the fact that you can race up on the second level of the mall. This is the bottom level, and it's cool because even though there's no right or wrong way to go, it's still ultimately only one direction. You can use it to your advantage to take the high road or the low road, depending on who you're racing as.
And the funniest thing about this stage is when you're neck and neck with someone and you get to the escalator that you think is going up and they switch it on you to go down. And you're just like, oh my God, I went up the wrong side. It drives me nuts. It's great.
And there's things you have to deal with, there's a fountain at the end of the mall that if you're on the low road, you actually have to drive around it. You can't go through it.
Right.
But if you're on the high road, you just jump straight down over it. So is it a shortcut technically? Maybe not. I haven't played it with anybody else, with me at the same time to say, all right, let's hit this at the same time and see who can get to it first.
Right.
To see. But it's cool taking a little alternate routes.
You're the king of alternate routes.
Thank you.
You're also the king of alternate shirts.
I like this shirt.
I like that shirt. Is that a Randy Orton shirt?
It is a Randy Orton shirt.
Very nice. Yeah.
Wrestling.
Wrestling.
Orton.
Did it. Scoop.
Been there, done that.
Number 2.
Number 2 for Matt.
Number 2.
Matt, what is this? This sounds vaguely familiar.
This is Bowser's Castle for Mario Kart 8, the latest installment. This board, every time I hear this, I love this music so much because it incorporates ska. You got the horns and stuff in it. And when I think of Bowser's Castle, I wouldn't necessarily think of ska and horns, but it fits the stage. You got the metal and you got the ska going, and it creates chaos, which is this stage to a T. This is nuts. And I think
Does it have thwomps in it?
No.
Done.
I don't believe it does. And people are going to correct me, and I hope somebody corrects me because there's a 95% chance I'm wrong. But I believe each lap that you go through Bowser's Castle, it changes a little bit.
Ooh.
Either there's some deterioration of the walls going through because the whole stage is moving, there's craziness going on. And it's been a while since I've played 8, but my mind thinks that I'm not as crazy as I seem. There's something like that going on that stage.
There very well may be.
But the cool thing about 8 as well is they added in anti-gravity to where your wheels would turn up and become like a hover vehicle, so you could hover on the walls. And there's really cool ways to get through the stage now. It's not just the normal stay on the road. Like you can go. There's now underwater. You still have the glider. The glider effect. Now you have the anti-gravity.
He's a bird. What is he trying to mime me here?
You have a large cast in this game with vehicles and everything. Nice.
Yeah, I'll tell you about that later. It's actually a Mario Kart 8 themed bedroom. This guy built a Mario and Kart complete with LEDs that is stuck upside down on his daughter's room, and it's all painted so that the whole room looks like the cover for Mario Kart 8.
That's awesome.
It is awesome.
That is awesome. You know, Mario Kart 8 also has the largest amount of playable characters, including DLC. How many characters do you think are playable in this game? If you had to throw a number at me.
18.
36.
What?
Yes, 36. And there are...
I was off by half.
And there's 48 tracks.
Oh, my God.
Yes, it's insane. 16 can be purchased through downloadable content. There are highlight reels. That's another thing that I loved about this game. There's highlight reels for the awards ceremonies, and you could make clips from your game, and you can actually like edit and like do. There's like slow mo and different things you can do, and you can upload those to YouTube.
Oh wow!
Like it was great. Like if you had like a photo finish, it would like take the highlights from the round, and at the very end, it would show like a cinematic finish, and then you'd be like, okay, this is me edging this person out, giving them the finger, and then now I'm gonna upload it to YouTube, and it's great. It's so cool.
If only Nintendo did trophies.
Yeah. Can you imagine that? They need to. I'm surprised.
I would have to buy a Wii U.
You should have a Wii U anyway.
I should, but I
know they're already discussing their next system, but the Wii U is awesome. I'm very happy with it, with what they've released. I only play like the main games minus Zelda, because other than Link to the Past, I haven't touched the Zelda game. So you should see the face Steve's giving me. I think his eyes are going to pop out of his head and start screaming at me. I did play. Okay, I played a little bit of Ocarina of Time. I'd say maybe about an hour or so, and I was like, okay, yeah. I played a little bit of Wind Waker. You
do understand Ocarina of Time is the best game of all time?
No, I wouldn't.
Matt, yeah. It is the best game of all time.
We should have a whole episode of our top 5 disagreements, and we'll just pick random music to play to it.
And anyone who's listening to this will tell you. Ocarina of Time. It may not be my favorite number one, but it is the number one game of all time.
Zelda game or just...
No. Game, period.
I don't know.
Number one game of all time.
I want to hear some serious weigh-in from the listeners if you agree with Steve, or if every episode I'll start off with just like a soundtrack of people laughing and saying, Steve's wrong, and it just goes on for 5 minutes.
Steve is not wrong. Steve is not wrong. He is good. He is wise.
He's good. He is wise. All right. Well, nice drop there. I like that very much. So yeah, weigh in on that. I really want to see if you think Steve's right, because I think he's full of horse poop or Moo Moo Farm cow poop. So
Moo Moo Farm dung.
Yeah, it's very weird saying poop.
Yeah.
When you have a kid,
we matured. It's now dung.
When you have a kid and you like get really angry and you want to start swearing, you're just like, oh, that poop stinks like doo-doo dung, and you're just like, wow, I really feel like I'm back in
what
first
the
grade.
filth.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Meanwhile, your child looks at you like you're an idiot.
Yeah, it's like, what are you doing? You're just like, sorry. So yeah, Steve's wrong. So
get back to that.
Yeah, just weigh in on that. I'm really interested. I really would love to have actually a discussion on Facebook about what people think the greatest game of all time.
And we would like to have it before next episode.
Yes, so we could talk. Yes,
because next episode is our Zelda tribute episode.
Yes, so actually that would be fantastic. So weigh in on it. Let us know. Yell at Steve, yell at me. Either way works. So let's move on to our number one, because we're already there already, and that's absolutely insane. So we're going to go ahead and start off with
good times, though.
Your number one. I hope it's good.
This sounds like Joe Satriani's version of Rock Mountain.
I wish this was on like Rock Band. This would be fun to play. This particular track, it'd be fun.
Yeah.
So we got another Mario Kart 7 game in here. I like it.
We do. They had a lot of great tracks. And do you think it's because the tracks themselves are so good, or because of the power that the system was pushing? That they could do this amazing soundtrack.
Yeah.
I
mean, it's great because if you didn't know what Mario this is from, you can't tell it's from a handheld.
Right.
I mean, it's just I'm still blown away with how well this game was made, both visually and the audio quality of it, and it's just it's fantastic. It's fantastic. It just shows the power of the 3DS, what it is capable of, and I think it captures it perfectly with this game.
I was checking out this track, and man, some insanity was going on. You're racing, first of all, on a stage that doesn't have sides in most parts. Okay, then you're going and you're racing straight uphill. And while there's boulders coming down at you at the same time.
It's great because you want to hit those power-ups to speed you up.
Oh,
and
yeah.
if you hit a boulder in between those two power-ups, you're moving like a snail. You're like, oh my God, this is horrible. You hope you have a mushroom to speed up to catch up, but if you don't, you're just like, oh,
it should knock you all the way back down to the bottom.
That would be awesome. That would be awesome.
So you're trying to dodge them as you're going up there. So now you have to worry about the racers and getting hit by their stuff, plus the stage screwing you.
That's great. That's great.
I thought that and that track is amazing. You could so race to that music.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And that's cool. That's another thing that I love about the Mario Kart tracks is none of them are boring. I mean, like the music on the stages, they all fit very well, and they're not like I'm just not really like you're either lighthearted and fun, where you're just enjoying it, or they're very rock heavy, and you're just like, yes, I'm just gonna kick some ass on this stage. But it's there's not one that's just like you might not like the stage, but I think overall the music encapsulates each level very, very well.
So did you have a favorite power-up when you played?
My favorite power-up, I think, would probably always be like a bullet bill. Because I love flying through the stage as fast as possible and knocking people out of the way. Now, mind you, very rarely am I ever that far behind to where I get a bullet bill. Usually if I do, I always end up in first. That's just me. But no, seriously, overall, you can't go wrong with triple red shell. You can't. I mean, you have it for defense and offense. And there's really, I mean, if you're in first place and you land a triple red shell, that's it. Like, you are literally done unless somebody throws a blue shell at you.
Right.
Or you get lightning and lose everything. There's literally nothing anybody can do unless everybody gangs up on you.
Yeah, I was always a fan of just lightning. Because, man, some stages, like I remember in Mario 64, you had a Wario stage. It was like a motocross track. And there's a lot of jumps, and the jumps went over the track.
Right.
So if you time it so that people are jumping and you lightning them,
and they
just fall straight down. Now they have to re-race like more than half the track to get back to where they were.
And that's always the worst is when when you're racing the computers, like they just know right at this particular moment, don't get lightning right here. And it's like
right.
of all, or even a blue shell, it's just like it always hits right at that the worst moment that it could possibly hit.
You're just cruising along, so you hear that whoop, 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 whoop. You're like, oh, God.
The thing I always try to do, though, is when a blue shell's coming at me, I like looking in reverse, and is anybody close to me? Jam on the brakes and hopefully take them out with me. But, sometimes it doesn't always work that way. But if you can time it, it's just great. Like, all right, nothing was lost here. We're still neck and neck.
Awesome. That's awesome. That
try.
might have been the best story all night, because that was awesome.
Nice. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, I might as well not continue because it's only going down from here. So thanks for listening. See you next time.
Well, we got to hear your number one.
Oh, yeah.
Matt, you're going old school on this one.
I had to, man. Koopa Beach from the original Mario Kart. There's too much old school in my blood. I can't deny the power that this track had on me playing Mario Kart for the first time. Like, I could just visualize hours in my childhood just in my head right now, just sitting there playing. and it's just it's probably one of my most fun tracks, and I think that's why I had to put it on here as the top, because this, even though it's a very repetitive track, there's so many memories attached to it, and
sure.
I can't overlook that. I listen to the other ones, I might get a little more let's go, but this one is just, I have that euphoria just hits, and I'm just like, everything's right, man. Koopa Beach, back when I was a kid, no bills, nothing. Let's just sit and play Mario Kart and have a good time. So
when you can see the stage.
When you can see the stage. I loved it.
If I remember correctly, this stage was just a chain of islands, and you could actually drive through the water.
Yeah.
But then there was deep water that if you went into, you'd fall down into, and you couldn't get out.
Yeah. Yeah. And you had to have the
Tuki would actually come and fish you out.
Fish you out and take your coins away. He's like, no, give me my 3 coins. No. Mario Kart,
turn
man.
into Arnold?
Yeah.
No, give me my 3 coins.
Get to the beach. Get to the beach. Yes. I just completely... We had a decent episode, and I just had to completely ruin it with that.
No, you didn't.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I feel a little bit better now.
Add a little bit of magic.
So, I mean, there's really not much more you can say about Mario Kart for Super Nintendo. I mean, we've talked about it, and it's just... It's my favorite in the series because it's what I was introduced to, and I know, a lot of people, there's like, you hold on too much to these old games, you got to move on. But I don't have I've spent more hours with this game than every other Mario Kart I've ever played combined. And I won't put that many hours into these new games. These new games, they're awesome. I absolutely love them, but I will never create the kind of memories that I created with these games when I was a kid. It just, you can't compare it.
You know what's sad?
Everything.
My son and your daughter will never know what an arcade is.
Yeah.
That saddens me.
Yeah, I just read an article today that I forget. I think it's somewhere in, I forget where, like Louisiana or something. There's an arcade museum opening. I was like,
all right, road trip.
Are we at the point where arcades are going into a museum? I was just like, I don't like.
It belongs in a museum.
It belongs in
my house.
Places where, in our house. It just, I miss those days, man. I want someone if I had the startup capital, I would take that risk and open up an arcade. Well, and just fill it with like 50 to 100 different cabinets of all different kinds.
It's so rare to find any kind of arcades now. There's a couple you could still find, but like even in Disney, they had in a Space Mountain used to be a giant arcade.
Yeah,
and that's all gone now. Yeah, that's lost.
The closest we get to around here, at least for me, is the BART, is the arcade bar. They have all the old school classic. Missile Command. They got some old Street Fighter. You got, sometimes they got Burger Time cabinets in there. So Track and Field, the older stuff. But which is awesome. It'd be great to see a place that had all the racing games and all.
There is
House of the Dead. Get some Time Cop in there.
Jurassic Park.
Yeah, I mean, get the Star Wars, the Star Wars game in there. I mean, there's. I don't think I'm ever going to be able to.
Well, there is a place. It's it's the Daytona Boardwalk. They have all that, but you don't want to go to the Daytona Boardwalk.
No, I avoid Daytona like the plague.
As you should.
Yeah.
As you should.
We go there for Memorial Day for vacation.
Having been raised there, yes, you should.
There are some parts which are cool, but for the most part, there's too many young punks for me. I'm too old, man. I'm 34 on Sunday. And I know people are like, oh, that's not old. To me, I never thought I'd make it to 34 years old, quite honestly. With my eating habits and what I did in high school and stuff like that, I never thought I would still be alive to this day. So I'm hanging on to each day like grim death. So
yeah, I'll be 40 on the 3rd. 40.
40. What are you doing?
I'm in a whole other bracket.
We should do a special episode for your 40th where it's just centered on you.
It's going to be like all like
you
to die by, or
well, maybe no. We'll come up with something cool for you for your 40th. I'll figure something out to throw at you.
Okay,
it might be a. I got some cool thoughts popping around in the old pea-sized brain,
the old noggin.
So, but you're going to be kept in the dark. So yes, it's going great. So that was our Mario Kart episode. I think it was very well. I think we both had a very awesome top 5. I'm still hung on that stupid Zelda thing now. Yeah. I want people to write in because I think you're full of garbage. So please write in. I really want to know and have a discussion before our next episode because, as he said, we're going to be discussing the Zelda franchise.
Yes,
and
we might actually have a guest on too.
Yeah, so
we're looking at it. We're working on that. So we have people. We know people working on that for us.
Yeah, we know people. We know things. So if you can write in and let us know before the next episode, and let us know what your top 5 is, because if you write it and put it in there, we'll talk about it on the show. I would love to be able to talk about people's top 5s and why they picked what they picked, because it's the whole thing is just based on opinion.
And I would like to just know what people's favorite kart racing game was.
Exactly.
There's so many out there. You have the Crash Bandicoot racing.
Yeah.
You've got the Sonic racing. You got Sonic Transformed for the new systems out there now that you could actually race as Wreck-It Ralph.
Isn't there a Mickey's USA?
Speedway, Speedway USA.
Yep.
That's for the N64.
Got it in box. Nice.
Yes.
That game's worth like 5 cents.
Yes. Actually, I'll tell you what. Here's a story. This is a Steve story. My personal all-time favorite kart racing game of all time.
Here we go.
Ready? Walt Disney World's Magical Racing Tour.
Interesting.
The reason being, it is a kart game, just like Mario Kart. However, you would actually race through the attractions of the different Disney parks. So what was cool about it is, like, as you're racing through the Haunted Mansion, it actually plays the music from the actual Haunted Mansion ride.
Oh, that's cool.
And when you're racing through Pirates of the Caribbean, your car is now a boat, and you're racing through the waterways of the attraction. And it's the actual attraction.
That's pretty cool.
So, like, you can see the dog with the jailers and them dunking the mayor of the town and the pirate ships. You see all that.
That's really cool.
Yeah,
that
so
is really
it
cool.
was amazing. And especially at the time when it came out, Disney, being a big, huge Disney fan, they didn't release any of their music yet out to the public. But that was the first way I could hear Grim Grinning Ghosts on that game because it was the actual track.
That's so cool.
That's my story.
Nice story. The other one was still better, but I'll give you, I'll give it to you. That I like when they do that. Like you can actually like relive it. Like you're going through, like we talked about with the Airship Fortress.
Yes.
Like so it's like it was very very similar or an exact replica of what you had gone through and what you've seen. So good story. Good way to end it.
Thank you.
So be sure to follow us on our social media. You can follow us on Twitter at Cash Revive. Shoot us an email, cashrevive@gmail.com. Make sure to follow us on Facebook. Subscribe to us on iTunes and leave some comments on there as well. We'd love to get some reviews, either good or bad. Let us know how we can improve or just stay as badass as we currently are.
Well, I promise next week when we do our Zelda thing, I will have my voice back.
You better, or I'm going to replace you with a toaster. So,
Toaster would probably have better opinions, but...
Probably. They wouldn't make absurd stuff like that Zelda comment. Come on now. But yes, I'm never going to let this go. So we're going to go ahead and close off with the Sunset Wilds track from Super Mario Kart Super Circuit, which is for the Game Boy Advance. I said that all wrong. Mario Kart Super Circuit for the Game Boy Advance.
There we go.
Tongue-tied. So this is the track for that. So thank you all again for listening, and we'll see you next week.
Have a good night.